Welcome, everybody. Welcome to TingleCon Day 3. We have had such an epic TingleCon 2021, and it's all thanks to all of you. And Carol, and Nathan, and I guess myself. but maybe. But yeah, we have such an epic final day coming up for y'all. We are about to do our opening panel, which is Carol, myself, and Nathan talking about the making of TingleCon, and I'm really looking forward to that. Nathan is on his way here, so sit back and enjoy more ASMR beats in the meantime. But before that, Carol, why don't you read off what we have in store for us today?
Well, of course, Keith. So we have in store for today, for the last and third day of TingleCon, the other way around, the third and last day of TingleCon, we have our own panel in like 1 minute. Then we have the panel Twitch versus YouTube with ASMR Kitchen, Ruby True, My ASMR, and the ASMR Nerd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we have the cinematic ASMR panel with Shani Atlas, James Matthew, and Kat Bailey at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the last panel of this TingleCon 2021 is the educational panel with Library of Whispers, Let's Find Out ASMR, ASMR Chess, and ASMR Actica at 8 p.m. And then we have the closing ceremony. So if you want to hang out till then, because after that, I don't think we'll be live again. I'll be sleeping. So if you guys want to go and say goodbye to everyone, like, hey, bye, thank you.
We got you
can.
covered.
But we have live streams from Kata ASMR and ASMR Destiny.
That's right. An ASMR Destiny stream will be the closing after party because it's the very end of TingleCon. Unlike the previous days, he will be on for as long as he wants because that is it. So it's going to be a blast. It's going to be epic. I feel bad for Carol because she's always asleep when he's live, but his streams are the freaking best. Like I want to say they're next level. But there's level, then there's next level, and then there's ASMR Destiny. Like, yeah, you could barely see it up there.
I can't. I really can't.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And by the way, he's the one that gave me these two little screens. He sent them to me. He has a bunch of them on his own. He had a couple extras, and he sent them to me.
So cute.
Oh,
I actually knew that, but it was like a long time
guess
ago.
what?
So I didn't remember.
We can actually start the panel now because Nathan is in the waiting room and ba-boom.
Ba-boom. Okay, guys, let's go. Let's take it out. We can do it.
Welcome, man. You're on the air.
We can't hear you, darling. Why are you repping the British Islands? I am the one in the British Islands. Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. I was gonna say when Carol and I are in the chat with you, you are not allowed to represent them because I feel like you're betraying me.
Outnumbered.
Carol and I have a bit of a rivalry.
But the Zeppelin, I mean, that's universal right there. You gotta have that. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Loud and clear.
I'm always loud, except when I'm whispering, right?
Yeah. That's how all three of us are. Well, for me, whispering or soft speaking because I love doing soft speaking, but never.
Well, that all said, how is everyone doing here? We're doing all right. Looks like we've got some people in the chat there. We're on our last day of TingleCon. How are we feeling? What have you enjoyed the most so far?
Well, I was going to answer that question by singing James Brown, but Twitch won't allow that anymore, so I'll refrain.
No, you'll be sued for that for sure.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, don't sing copyrighted music. Just PSA for all you out there. Refrain from that.
Absolutely. All right, so today we're going to be doing this a little bit of a founders. Yeah, what's that? Founders fireside chat. Sorry, I'm a little distracted with some stuff going on here. Doing this fireside founders chat, and I've got some questions here I wanted to we could just talk about in general. So why don't we? Do you want to we could just start off like that, or how are we feeling?
Whatever you want, man.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with this. What have you enjoyed so far with the con? Let me close this window here too.
Um, I think I really like how everyone comes together for TingleCon every year, even though we don't talk that often during the year. And then I go to everyone and I'm like, "Hey, I'm preparing TingleCon again," and everyone is like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'm in." And I'm like, thank you so much. I don't deserve you, but yeah, I really like to see everyone. Like I look at the schedule and I see all the names, and then I see the exclusive videos and the workshops and all the names, and I'm like, I love you guys.
Yeah, just
It's very wholesome.
just the sheer creativity that we see as we watch all the ASMR videos throughout the night or day, depending on your time zone. It's truly phenomenal. Not ver- A lot of times when we're browsing ASMR videos and YouTube, even though there's a wide variety of niches, subgenres, a lot of us are like looking through one or two of them. But with TingleCon, you get in the mode where you just see it all. You get the smorgasbord, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And just the fellowship of TingleCon is just phenomenal. Like Carol said, everybody coming together to celebrate ASMR, talk about our experiences with it, and talk about a bunch of different things that go on in the ASMR community. It's just a beautiful thing, and I cherish it.
Yeah, and I was gonna add.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, sorry. I was just gonna add that I really hope that when people see the reruns of this, I don't know if on Twitch you also have the chat at the same time, because people are gonna be like, "What is Carol on about?" And I'm just replying with my body to the chat, so I'm like, people's gonna think I'm even crazier than when I am.
If you're viewing it on Twitch, there is the chat. If it's posted on YouTube, it is not there.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you have a widget to have chat on the actual stream, which I'm gonna give a little I'm gonna give a little PSA, folks. A lot of streamers do this, big and small. I advise against it because when a troll makes a comment and a moderator deletes it, then when somebody goes back to the VOD, that comment will not reappear. It's gone forever. But on the stream chat widget, it is recorded and it is there forever.
Yeah.
So I advise against using that widget, to be perfectly honest.
All right. Okay. Good advice. Good advice. Well, so let's jump into this here because I think this is a big question that I want to ask because I think maybe kind of a general thing here, but what is community to you folks? I mean, I think that's the biggest message we're getting here about, what TingleCon is really about.
Like community, like the ASMR community, or community in
it could be community in general. It could be specifically ASMR community, however, whatever you want to.
I don't know, because I think that for definition of community, I would just like grab the dictionary. But for me, like
for you,
ASMR community, yeah, it's more like this connection that we all have because we share this passion.
Mm-hmm. And being there for each other too.
Yeah, being active, I suppose, like on social media and different ways that we can find. Yeah, like checking on each other that we're okay, the content that we're putting out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that especially shared issues seems to be one for me. Like I'll have like a plane fly overhead and then like car alarm goes off and then, some door knocks and then this happens and I'm like, is it really this hard for everybody? And you're just thinking you're alone in these struggles. And I think having that, you go on Twitter and you're like, oh shit, like Rapunzel here has the same problem and she's got 1 million subscribers. So maybe actually like I'm not alone in this, or whoever it is. Like, so I think that's one of those things about community is that shared experiences and also shared problems because it's a very unique medium. So I do think that kind of only a few people can really understand with those issues. But I wanted to now jump into this next question because I think a lot of people might be curious. And I think actually you two specifically really this question is for, but do you want to talk about how this idea of TingleCon came to be?
Oh, well, it's actually, the idea came actually from Shadowy Whispers. He's an ASMR artist that does voice only. But since the first edition, he couldn't carry it out because he didn't have time for it. So he like passed me the, how you say, the baton,
The baton.
Baton.
the baton. Yeah, he just passed it to me and be like, Carol, it's your thing. You take care of it and you organize it and stuff. So even from the first edition, I was already running it, and I remember that I was like, okay, so if now it's my thing, I'm gonna find people that I know to help me. So that's why Keith is here, because I was like,
on
I
my
need help.
I'm on my screen. I'm the other side of.
Yeah, but
where you pointed.
oh yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that's how I started it, and then Keith agreed to help me, which I'm pretty sure that he is not very proud of that decision.
Oh, on the contrary, I couldn't be more proud. I don't care how grueling it is to make TingleCon a reality. It is worth it. You found the right workaholic to make this happen.
Oh God, yeah, thank God.
Well, let's talk about that. What kind of work does it take to set up this kind of event?
Oh, a lot, like so much, like everything in life, like the 5 Dragon Balls, and I don't know, like the Elder World wand from Harry Potter, everything that you can think about.
The 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Just everything you can think about is what we need to make this happen. No, actually, now that it's the 3rd edition, it's not being that complicated. Yeah. You just need people that you can trust to do their job.
Yes.
Let's say someone that's going to be there and is not going to bail on you, and they do their part.
Yeah. And when it's volunteer work, that is tough to find. And this is volunteer work. Every dime that goes to TingleCon goes to improving TingleCon. It doesn't go to our own pockets at all. But even though it's a lot of work, it is a lot of fun to do. The only thing that sucks about it is sometimes when you're rushing to get everything done in time for the con, working late hours while balancing with a full-time job. It's not an easy task. It takes a lot of grit, but with the kind of dedication and devotion, and not going to say the following thing because I'm sure Dire Straits will sue me. I'm sure some of y'all know what I'm talking about, although some of you are probably a bit too young to know. But I digress. What was I saying? But
I don't know, but I love Nathan's face.
Dire Straits.
What is he on about?
Well, I was waiting for the Dire Straits connection. I was like, I love that song.
But again, on Twitch, I can't sing it. Yeah.
Well, I definitely think one of those things about TingleCon is that people don't realize. I think it takes like weeks of work, like almost like like my girlfriend right now is pretty mad right now, but like it's a lot of extra time. Like, you know, I have a day job and things, and I think a lot of people don't realize that it does take a lot of like, it's almost like a full-time job in a way, you know, maybe a couple weeks of the year really to get it all together. Getting the schedules coordinated, recording everything, editing everything, being here live this weekend. So it is definitely challenging, although of course extremely rewarding as well. Like that's the one thing you gotta throw in there as well. Throw up, what? So let's talk about your role on the team. I mean, I think that people might be curious, what is your role and what kind of challenges did you face? And also, if you could just quickly give a shout out to our missing member here who kind of did some of the promos and stuff like that. Maybe we could talk about that also.
Yeah, that was Harmonious ASMR. Really awesome dude, really talented ASMR artist, and really talented editor and effects artist. He made the trailers. He made the template for the trailers and did half of them, but then unfortunately work caught up to him so much, and he had to pass the template on to me, and I was able to get the rest. I have some knowledge in special effects, but nowhere near the level he does. So I'm glad he had a template for it. Because seriously, so all I really had to do was swap out the pictures and the names and
yeah. But I do everything except putting everything on Streamlabs or OBS and then put it on Twitch. So that's Keith. Without Keith, I don't know what will happen the past 3 years really.
We'd have a blank screen.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do any of that. Like I know how to stream on Twitch, but you know how to all the scenes and change it and then have everything, prepare all the videos together and then playing it overnight for 3 days. Like it's literally 3 days, 24 hours. So I have no idea how to do that. I just do all of the rest, like marketing and contacting everyone and making group chats with the panels and trying to get everyone to do the stuff and get their videos on time and get their workshops on time. And I don't know, give a nudge to everyone and be like, hey, every 2 days. But I'm so glad that you, Nathan, because last year you were like more like the one talking, like all the time. Like you actually, those 3 days you were working nonstop. But this year you've done so much more. Like you haven't just been like a broadcaster. You've been like me. You've been doing everything for 2 months.
Thank you so much, Keith.
I hate to interrupt,
we need
but
holidays.
Paul, thank you for the 1,000 freaking bits.
Wow.
Oh God,
that's so nice,
1,000
Paul.
bits.
Thank you so much.
Thank
oh
you.
My God.
That is true, gentleman. Thank you so much.
Dude.
TingleCon is in your debt, my friend. Thank you so much.
Goodness.
For real.
Thank you. Well, wow. Woo. Getting hot over here.
Yeah.
For me, I would say I'm mostly doing the interview stuff. I mean, I think I've done a little bit. I did a little bit of the editing this year, but for the most part, and I had just some big cut and paste with that stuff. But mostly, I just focus on which questions to ask people. I obviously have a part of coordinating with the schedule with the panels, basically specifically. I don't really deal with the workshops and stuff, but I think the challenge for me is like, just probably a lot of people don't realize. I mean, my other job is in radio, and I think a lot of people don't know that doing an interview is an art. In my opinion, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and I have a particular style. I'm sure any other journalist or broadcaster would have their own style, but for me, I like to have a conversational style. I work in public radio, so it is more like it's less one-liners.
I like the way you said that. I work in public radio.
I work in public radio, and if you want to donate to our channel, but I mean, I think that
Californian of you, dude.
it does lead to conversational style, and I think with ASMR, there's so many nuances. So I think that's super important to bring out that kind of just natural discussion. And I think especially online, people aren't looking for one-liners and things like that. So I hope that those interview styles have allowed people's individual style to shine, and that's sort of where I come from. And that's kind of my role for the team. So, Keith, did you want to touch on some of your?
Absolutely. Carol already touched on a little bit. Like I put together the stream, all the scenes and whatnot. I did most of the editing, and like Nathan said, he did some of the editing too. Like the pre-recorded panels, he did the initial editing, and then he passed them over me to do some cleanup editing and put up the everybody's handles. Like whenever you see a panel that's pre-recorded in this TingleCon, you see their handles on screen. That was my doing, and I also make sure that that if anything was missed, that I cleaned that up. So yeah, that was me as far as editing goes. And I also set up the broadcast and passed a lot of the scenes to Nathan because I started a new day job recently. I could not get Friday off, which is fine. But our workaround was I passed the scenes and panels of that day over to Nathan so that he can broadcast while I was at work. And then once I got back home, the baton was passed to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next question here. I think, what is your main message for this event? What are you trying to create by hosting this year? What's your goal?
Love, peace, and good vibes. That's one of my lesser known mottos.
Yeah, totally. we're trying to give like a space for the community to come together. It sounds very like, yeah, like very common, but it is true. There's like the community is growing every day, and it's so much bigger than it was when I started in 2018. And it's so much bigger, but still it's gonna carry on growing. And obviously, because it carries on growing, it's gonna get some drama. So we've seen, maybe, if some drama and stuff. And I just want to have like a place for everyone, the community, to be like, this space is for everyone. Like, forget all the trauma, forget the people that you don't like in the community, forget, we're just here to come together and to enjoy what we really love and our passion here, that is ASMR.
And I just stopped myself from singing another song. Come together.
Yeah,
I hate this
think,
new Twitch
Gary,
role.
Gary was singing it, so I sang it before actually singing it because copyright.
Yeah.
I did it.
Keith, did you want to touch on that?
On the copyright thing?
You just
Yes.
did. Copyright thing.
Oh, not the copyright thing. No, on your main message of the event. What are you trying to? What's your like main message you want to convey with this event here?
Pretty much the same as Carol said. Just everybody. It's great that that at least once a year at TingleCon and throughout the year in general that we all come together and share common values and common goals, and we work toward those together, because in the end we're all one big team. We're not, contrary to popular belief, we're not competing with each other. We are building each other up. The moment you look at it as a competition, you cast yourself, you kind of cast yourself out and make it so much more difficult for yourself and everyone else around you. Nobody wants that. It's all about everybody collectively sharing their art and making each other's lives better because of that.
Yeah, and I think one thing to add here is, as a YouTuber,
Damn it, Gary. He just clipped me saying new day job. I said new.
Dope. What I was gonna say was that I think one of the things is when you're on Twitch or YouTube, you're caught in this daily grind. I think you can easily get caught up in the subscriber journey, where you're just like, focus on the numbers and focus on growth and money and those things. And I think as an artist in any medium, music, television, it's so important to have this shared experience where you can come together over the art form. Again, I think one other thing you notice, especially on Twitter, but there's a lot of bad blood between artists out there. And I think this is a chance for us to kind of perhaps even amongst ASM artists within this event. But the point being, this event is a way for us to come together over that.
I think everybody already knew that.
Come together over that purity of the art, rather than just necessarily, like I said, getting into those unfortunate conversations you see. So again, I think it is that sense of creating community and allowing us to focus on the important thing, which is helping people relax. Showing that this is about bringing people together, even though as individual artists we're isolated. It's about that. Especially these days, of course. So, all right, so let's move on to the next question here. What's the hardest challenge you had creating this event personally?
Finding time for it.
Finding time not for it. And what do I mean by that? Getting the con ready. I hadn't had a lot of time for my own things, like the common excuse people give, and I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but the common excuse people give for not working out is I don't have the time. I literally didn't have the time last couple of weeks. Like I rejoined a gym after California has reopened, because enough people. California has had a great rate on the vaccinations that California was able to open up safely, with a big asterisk. Still be careful, especially if you're not vaccinated. I recommend you still wear a mask, especially in crowded indoor places. But I digress. I rejoined my old gym because I left it when the pandemic hit, and like right after my first day of working out, I had to get into full focus TingleCon mode, and I had no time for anything else outside of my new day job. But after TingleCon is over and I get enough rest, I'm going right back to the gym. But the toughest part of getting ready for TingleCon is staying up late working and then going to sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, sometimes less, and then going to my day job, and then going back home and immediately marathoning, getting ready for TingleCon again, all throughout the last couple weeks. It was brutal, but I'm so glad that we pulled it off, because y'all are amazing. Every attendee, every attendee and every participant, and of course Nathan, Carol, all of you are amazing. And y'all made all this worth it.
You like my little shimmy right there?
Your little
just a little shimmy, shimmy of excitement. Carol, what was the hardest challenge for you?
Finding time to prepare it, because day job and personal life, and I'm really trying to learn how to say no, because I'm literally all day working on my channel and finding new ways, to make things work and stuff, and trying to make this my full-time job. So, but I have a personal life that I really need to give the importance that it has, because
come on.
If not,
not what you said. I got a
the message I got it as well. It's fine. But because if not, then we start having like mental health problems, and then everything goes shit. So we were like working so hard for especially the past 2 months. Like, so really, when me and Nathan actually sat down and started being like serious about this, and being like, we need to get everything ready earlier than last year, because by the time we finished the past 2, so the first edition, the second one, we were knackered. So
we were completely knackered.
Yeah.
Let me translate it to my fellow Americans. That means exhausted.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think for me, the hardest challenge, again, the time thing and balancing everything. But I think for me, just specifically, is coming up with the right questions. I think I think with TingleCon, you do see this dichotomy between the fans and the ASM artists, because I think there's 2 different groups of people in the crowd, and I think that they're looking for different things. So, trying to find questions that kind of cater to both those needs can be kind of difficult. But I also think
you're amazing at it.
Thank you so much. Well, listen, I do a lot of listening, but I was going to say the other thing is, I think listening to, especially like, for example, the LGBTQIA plus panel, I had to do a lot of learning myself and listening and trying to just try to, as an interviewer, hear out, the people that I'm interviewing. So I think that was a little bit on the difficult side, just being very nuanced, not, trying to make sure I don't ask any bad questions. And that was probably my biggest struggle, just making sure I was well read on the particular, I like to go look at every ASM artist's page and a couple of their videos and see, if I'm not that familiar with them, and just try to see where they're coming from and then ask questions accordingly. So that was probably my biggest challenge, just coming up with those questions, etc. So we've done this one here. I've got
very
another.
Proud because of all the things, like all the new things that you needed to do this year, like helping me organize it. I feel quite happy that was the most challenging thing for you. So that means that the rest of the world was like,
the most intellectually challenging, in the sense that it really required a lot of brain power to like figure out the right questions. And I'm kind of a perfectionist on that, on the question front. Yeah. But of course, the time, and when I broadcast on Friday, that was pretty challenging too. I was like, okay, I've written down a 50-point note of all the things I'm going to do, and let's go. So, all right, so let's talk about some of the like where we see this thing going in the future. So what is the future of TingleCon? Will there be one? Now, of course, we haven't talked amongst each other about this like officially, but just from your own feeling, where do you see the future of the con?
I'm really trying not to look too much ahead because I have anxiety problems. So I'm really trying
Yeah,
not to
me
look
too.
too much ahead. So I just think we'll do it again next year. Like that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it again next year. I'll do it again next year. I don't
Well,
know you guys.
well, you know that Nathan and I have your back in making that happen and doing it better every single year.
I wanted to sing it the Carpenter song, but I can't.
I knew you were gonna try and sing that.
Damn it.
I'm glad I gave that warning.
Yes. Thank God. 'Cause I would have done it.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
What
I
do
was
you
gonna
see?
I was gonna say thank you so much, by the way, to the nice compliments out there, Gary and the rest. I appreciate you complimenting my hosting skills. I you know.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Gary's support on my new day job, exclusively on OnlyFams.
I appreciate Gary in general. You know, how about that? But I think with the future for me specifically, you know, I do think it's kind of taken a life of its own and its own. Like I definitely know it will be here next year. And at this point, I think it's something that's going to grow as its own entity. A lot of artists told me in these panels, you know, I felt bad about returning, you know, like there are other artists out there, but I think in a way, as the fans and the ASM artists grow, their channels and their art grows, I think TingleCon grows with them. And that's something I really like to see, is that continuity where you're getting some artists from the year one who are still in it. And I really like that. It's that sense of growth. And as the community grows, then TingleCon grows as well. So I definitely do see a future next year, 100% next year. But, you know, I do think it's, with any skill, you know, you just want to add a little bit every single year. And eventually you realize you have something beautiful. So in this regard, I think, you know, we just keep adding little things here and there. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But that's sort of where I see the event going personally.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking, I think I was around 5K subscribers for the first TingleCon.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's so crazy.
That is amazing. And time flies.
Jesus.
And congratulations to Carol 100K. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment.
Thank
Speaking
you.
of the actual growth there, that's amazing. Well, listen, it's all TingleCon. That's where they all came from, right there.
Yes.
It wasn't all that hard work you did on the side. No,
I
but
will even say that we started from the bottom and now we are here.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Keith, did you want to, or Keithaniel, did you want to discuss about maybe where you, sort of how you see things moving ahead?
Pretty much what Carol said. Like Carol, I don't want to think too far ahead, but more importantly, I don't want to give too much away. But it is known that we would like to one day make TingleCon an in-person convention, like TwitchCon, VidCon, Comic-Con, the works. We have no idea if or when that will happen, but we would like to make that happen one day, and it would be phenomenal. Last year, Katie ASMR submitted an ASMR video, a role play that takes place in the IRL version of TingleCon, and it looked very futuristic, which is her way of telling us we're going to take forever to make that happen. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, but I honestly, if I were to, hey, Maya's here.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're doing that. I had to look at it. But what was I saying? If I were to model what the IRL TingleCon would be like off of an outside source, it would probably be Katie's video, because she has a bunch of interesting, good ideas in that video. Go to Katie ASMR's channel and dig through her videos. It's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go take a look at that.
It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
It's from a
So
year ago, so do it a little bit.
So yeah, so I wanted to just touch on that. So if you could have your dream, this would be an in-person event?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
What would that in-person event look like?
I mean, I
Oh
kind
my
of
goodness.
answered.
I never actually given myself the, how do you say?
the
Like,
thought.
I
the
don't know.
vision.
I've never allowed myself to dream about it, because I will be like, oh, I want to work towards that. So I'm like, I'm a workaholic, so I will totally start organizing it.
Carol is literally the Spanish version of me.
Yeah, I have a problem organizing things, really. So I really try not to think about it, but I would love it. Like, I don't know, have like one in London and one in, I don't know, New York or something like that. And then have like two different dates at different times of the year, and then be able to go to both. And I would like to picture this at first, like a small place. I think that we would need something really big.
Yeah.
But yeah, live ASMR, because I remember that Sophie Michelle did that for a convention, and it was really cool. Like live ASMR,
Yeah.
and that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely love to have ASMR artists do ASMR on
panels.
stage, and of course,
I love panels.
Yeah, people getting in line behind a mic, holding in their pee, so that they can get their questions out for us. That's
Holy no, they're what?
holding in their pee. I'm a realist. Deal with it.
They're pee.
Yes.
I could totally see that with like South by Southwest or something. You know, you have different stages with different performers on there. That's a really cool idea.
Oh, it's so cool.
I like that idea of the in-person. I think everyone in the community has that dream of an ASMR in-person event, and I believe we'll get there. Let's move on to this next question here. Do we ever plan to do other languages? Maybe Spanish, French, maybe some other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I was actually last year. I said that if I was doing this full time this year, I will do it in Spanish as well, because I'm Spanish, and I know that there's a really big Spanish community. And I also talked to Maya to try to do it in Portuguese as well. But probably next year then. If I'm doing this full time, then yes, and if I'm not, then no, because then I would certainly explode and die. But yes, that would be cool.
Okay. What about you, Keith? Can you see something like that happening?
Absolutely. It's by just doing everything in English, you really limit your audience. Yes, English is one of the most common languages in the world, but there's still so many people that do not speak it, and we want to reach out to those kinds of people, and the more languages we include, the better. That being said, realistically, English would be the main language of TingleCon, and we could like include subtitles when it comes to pre-recorded stuff. Live stuff, obviously, that would not work. But I'm very much in favor of finding as many creative ways as possible to have everything as inclusive as possible.
So I got about 4 more questions here, and why don't we go with this one here? What is one ASM artist, if you had your dream, that you'd want to be in TingleCon but haven't so far?
Zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that would be so.
That's a cool one. Yeah, that's a really good
have
one.
my goal. Yeah, that would be amazing.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. First, I think I'm gonna try to make my dream come true to have Sophie Michelle in TingleCon, because she couldn't do this year. Because I messaged her, but she couldn't make this year from some personal things. But hopefully next year. I'll probably cry because she's literally the person that got me into doing ASMR.
Yeah,
so,
same with me for Zeitgeist. He is one of the ones that got me into doing ASMR.
My goodness, I
cannot do the kind of things he does, though. I do not have the funding or the knowledge, because
they are such wholesome people.
They really are. Zeitgeist
know.
did see my impression of him once, and then he liked it, which
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
That is cool.
And you, Nathan?
I would say for me, I would go with I can't choose one, but I definitely got to say Gentle Whispering would be probably one of the big ones for me.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
person who I don't think this person would ever do it because they tend to not be very active with their chat or anything, but Latte ASMR would be like that's one of my favorite of all. And then probably one other one that I would say would be oh my gosh, I had it in my head. Now I'm blanking on. I would love to have the French Whisperer on here as well. That's a gentleman that his voice is like butter, so he would be somebody I would just be like so happy to have on here. Those are probably my main ones.
Bit alert.
Thank you.
Oh wow!
Thank you, Matt
thank you,
Mardigan.
Thank you, Matt Mardigan. We really
500
appreciate
bits.
that. That's really, really nice of you to do that. Thank you so
Spooky
much.
says latte. Latte will be cool.
Yeah, she would be really
Latte
cool.
would be good.
That would
I
be
mean,
one
I
of the
will
best.
have everyone. Like, I will never be
everyone.
like, "Hey, do you want to have this person?" And I will be like, "Of course." Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would
yes,
also
please.
I would also love to have
Thank
fast.
you.
I would also have, love to have fast ASMR on because as the name suggests, she is insanely fast with her triggers, super aggressive, and I really love that. I think fast aggressive ASMR is criminally underrated because when you think ASMR,
really?
you don't really think fast aggressive stuff in most cases, but holy crap, it's the most tingly thing ever.
One other person, you know who I was just thinking? I think one other really cool thing would be like the history of ASMR because when I look at Jelly Bean Green, that's a person I see in there and I think of
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
another person on that realm would also be like Massage ASMR, which is
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
Dimitri. He's like one of the original creators of ASMR, and I would love to get some of those more old school classic ASMR artists like in a panel together because it'd be really cool to see. I think it's also like Whispering Life. Whispering, is that what it is? Yeah, the
think
person
so,
who
yeah.
made the first ASMR video in 2009.
Yeah.
And I'd love to get them in a room and just hear how they feel the community has evolved since back then. I think because it's crazy to see the difference.
Another one I'd love to see, which would be really tough to get because she's an OG, and the reason why she in particular would be tough to get is because she went on a year-long hiatus, came back for like 2 videos, and then went on another hiatus that's going on to this day. I think
Heather
y'all know
Feather.
who. Yep, Heather Feather.
Yeah.
She is a goddess. No one can deny that. Like, you can't even explain it. But just if you don't know Heather
Is she
Feather,
not on? She's gone again.
yeah, she is. But if you don't know Heather Feather,
Oh.
look her up. You will not be disappointed. Like,
Gary also said another good
Yeah,
one.
visual sounds one. Yeah.
Whispers
I
Red.
love
yes,
her.
Whisper's Bread. Absolutely.
But visual sounds. Yeah, visual sounds as well.
Visual sounds is good.
Well, Jellybean, we need to have you next year then.
Yeah,
That's
Jellybean.
it.
Yeah, there it is.
Done.
Jellybean, please
It
join
is.
us next year.
That's it.
We'd
There
love
it
to
is.
have you.
All right, so we're moving on to the next one here. If you could play one theme song for TingleCon that wouldn't be taken down for copyright music, what would it be? And then we have 2 more after that, and then we're
Sorry.
wrap it up.
Can you repeat the question? I was
Yes. What would
clapping
be
to Jellybean.
What would be your one theme song for TingleCon if it wouldn't be not taken down for copyright?
I can't sing on Twitch.
I will say it in Pig Latin. Erde osge aime iroe.
All right, for those fluent in Pig Latin, congratulations on
I
your
don't
new
know.
theme song.
I think he had an ictus. What just happened? What was that?
It's My Hero by Foo Fighters.
Okay, I will say, why can't we be friends?
That's a good one.
It's a
I mean,
cool
like, like very pathetic. Like, come on.
No, I might do Don't Worry, Be Happy. I forget who that's by, but like
Bobby
Don't
something. I can't remember
Be
the last
Happy.
name.
Yeah, that could be a good one. Nice, relaxing tune. Maybe some Bob Marley to get it kind of chill before
Yes.
before the con. Pretty much anything by Bob Marley's. gonna be
Actually, no.
Led-
I think I will
Led
play
Zeppelin?
something from. Yeah, that's not ASMR like.
no.
I think
He has the least ASMR voice probably of any musician.
But
the lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
poor Jimmy Page. Robert Plant, sorry. But you know who does?
Who?
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna change my answer, but
I'll say Billie
I'm gonna
Eilish.
change my answer, but same band, Foo Fighters, their song "Still." In 2005, they released a 2-disc album in your honor. One loud, one not so loud. The not so loud being an acoustic album. The first song on the acoustic album is called "Still." When I was in high school when that album came out, I used to go to sleep to that song on repeat a lot.
Ooh,
That was before ASMR was officially a thing.
yeah. Amazing.
It is one of the most calming songs I've ever heard in my life, and look up "Still" by Foo Fighters. It is so beautiful.
Cool. All right, so we've got our 3 last and 3 most important questions here. Are we accepting staff applications for TingleCon of next year?
Why do you do this to me, Nathan? I have PTSD.
I think a lot of people, well, I'm going to be honest, I'm asking because I got a lot of feedback, and I think a lot of people are really interested in getting involved, so maybe you could just give them a little
Honestly,
taste.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can't give
work.
we can't give a definite answer to that. We need to figure out how we need to approach the next TingleCon.
We do need help. Okay, we do need help. I do accept that. I didn't want to accept it this year. Sorry, kid.
Yeah. See, the thing is, as far as full on staff members, like the 3 of us, that's like a big jump. That probably won't come until TingleCon grows more and more. But as far as like volunteer work, I mean, I guess we're technically volunteers too. But you know what I mean? Like volunteering for small tasks to help out. Hell yeah, we would love that.
Yeah, we will need someone that, for example, takes care of social media. That's something I can say. That's something that doesn't give me that much PTSD. So someone that takes care of our social media, like regular, like in between one edition and the next one, because we are so quiet in the year, and I think that we need to keep it alive more often. And someone that's good at social media and keeping the conversation going will be amazing.
Yeah, and I would also like to do something. I can't say what because we haven't really decided on this yet, but I would love to do something with doing streams on this channel throughout the year. Because if we're gonna get this channel to partner status one day, that is a requirement. Because the 3 things required is you need to stream in the last 30 days, stream a certain amount of hours, which I can't remember the number, stream on 12 different days, and have an average viewership of 75. And that the second of which is physically impossible if we're only streaming on the channel on TingleCon. It's just 3 days a year. So we're gonna figure out some creative ways to do that. So stay tuned, hang tight. We will announce it once we have everything figured it out.
And I want to add one other thing. If there are people out there who are wanting to be involved, the best thing you could do is probably just send an email to, I believe it's TingleCon1.
TingleCon1. Yeah, TingleCon1 is the Twitter handle. No,
gotcha.
It's tingle.com or tingle.con.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, let's put it in the chat.
Let's put it in the chat.
If you have any ideas, we're very open to hearing them, and feel free to reach out. We would be glad to hear what you have to say, just in case you have any ideas. Okay, so cool. Let's move on to the next one here. This is probably the most important question. How can people support TingleCon more?
Oh, well, Keith, you're the expert.
There are many ways to support TingleCon. Everyone in chat is already doing it just by being here, and also cheering bits. As I see, Mad Mardigan cheered 200 more bits. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the monetary ways to support TingleCon, of course, is cheering bits. Subbing, gifting subs, donating. There's a donate button in the panels down below. Not to be confused with this kind of panel, but like the buttons below the screen, that they call those panels. But yeah, there's a donate button there. We have a merch shop. There's a button for that. You can also type !merch in the chat to get the link to the merch. Northern Rob, I gotta give a shout out to you, buddy. He tweeted earlier today, rocking his new TingleCon shirt, and it was so awesome. Stuff like that, and non-monetary ways to support the con is, of course, sharing, word of mouth. That's the biggest way to do it. And of course, if you're a streamer and you're live during TingleCon, you can always raid the con. We've had a few great raids. Particularly notable is Maya. She gave us a huge raid on the first day. Thank you once again for that.
She was hosting us last night as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, things like that. Oh, speaking of which, SGDuri ASMR, thank you for all those gift subs.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
Yeah, that is a way to do it.
What a gentleman. Thank you so much, Sil. Thank you.
Oh God.
Yeah, shout out to Sil. We're one of the great supporters of the community. I think a lot of people can agree to that.
Yeah.
So let's ask the last question here because we are running out of time. But what's one last thing I think you want to tell people here today about, if you want to say some thank yous or just some shout outs to artists that have been a part of it or the fans? Is there anything you want to tell people? Just one last message we can take away from this.
Carol, I'll let you go first because I am in the middle of something. Don't mind me. Hang on a second.
I know what you're doing. But I want to say thank you to everyone that has participated and that has put up with my constant insistence. Because obviously I go, to ask to everyone, to different people. Once are friends, once I know them only, and once I haven't really never spoken before. But they all been so kind and so nice, and in general it's been a really good response. That's what I was saying at the beginning, like how the whole community comes together, and I don't know.
Nathan, really what'd you do?
Oh well, who's that guy? What? I don't know. Just
oh my god!
I just came in here and gifted a bunch of subs. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
So that's the biggest way to support us monetarily. Get hype trains going like this.
Guys.
Thank you all for that.
Thank you.
So I think
Nathan, you want to ask the question again because I was doing the my cheer while you were asking it. I apologize, man.
Yes, of course. So I want to ask, what is your last message to everybody out there, the fans, to the ASM artists, the people who've been a part of this? Is there anything you want to tell people?
Yes. First of all, thank you all so much for your participation and support. Yes. We couldn't have.
Oh wow, Gary.
Gary,
thank you, Gary.
How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, we made it to the next level 5.
Gary cheered 1,500 bits.
Wow.
Look at that.
Gary,
wow.
Oh, and an Amy K. Wow.
Amy K with the 500 bits.
Wow.
Damn, son.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you
so much, guys.
That's
like
amazing.
it was saying earlier,
huge hype.
Yes. As Keith was saying earlier, all the money that we get, we don't use it for ourselves. We put it back on TingleCon. So
Absolutely.
The website.
Yeah, paying for the website was purely funded by the revenue from
Thank
last
you,
year.
Paul. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Especially from last year, that was a Frivolous Fox.
Yeah, Frivy
she
dropped a 50 sub bomb last year.
And she helped us pay for the website. So
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I just want to say that, everything that is being donated, we put back in, whether it's a Zoom membership that costs a lot of money or, all those, creating the graphics, getting everything going. I think people are, it's so meaningful to get these kind of donations. And we know that it'll go 100% towards growing next year. But one other thing I just want to say is that I'm just so appreciative that we have this event to bring people together, because again, it is a very isolating experience sometimes. Even as a fan, you're by yourself. You're watching maybe your one creator. There are a couple creators you watch. It's nice to see that there's this support network that does exist within the ASMR community, and I can see how.
Oh my god!
I see how it could grow so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you.
That
was so nice.
I'm
wow.
gonna read some more of these. Thank you, Paul, for
please.
600 bits, and
Julie
and Julie,
and Amy.
Julie
Thank
for the
you
100.
So
Spooky L for the 1,000.
and Paul. Yeah.
Wow, Paul, you are
Paul
too
with
much. Thank you.
500
man.
more.
Just
Dude,
made it
you.
into yes. We'll
Mike
take it.
with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, so much.
Wow.
Another more.
Thank you, everybody.
I promise next year we will.
Mike, thank you, man. Thank you.
I promise next year we'll have on-screen alerts like every other stream does. I was going to do that this year, but did not have the time to implement that. But we will have that and more emotes next year. Those are coming. So,
cool. Well, I just want to finish off by saying, thank you to everyone who was here for the event, fans in the chat, ASM artists who took the time out of their busy schedule to come talk with all of us. I mean, each of these interviews, some of them are over an hour. With a busy release schedule and a regular job, it's not easy for anybody. So I'm just thankful that people took time to help grow this and to be a part of this. And, we hope that you'll be back next year for TingleCon, which we'll hopefully announce many months from now. But at the same time, thank you. That's my main message is thank you all from all of us here. We truly appreciate it. And, if you ever want to reach out to us, the Gmail is...
Nathan, I think we didn't answer Paul's question, did we?
Oh, what was the question?
Sorry, it's actually from a while ago.
Sure.
But I completely forgot. Sorry, I just remember.
Yeah, Paul,
he answered if we were thinking about having like a mini-con in the middle of the year, like in between editions.
Well, I know that...
think, Nathan?
I personally think that's a really cool idea. I know a lot of people would be interested. I would say the biggest feedback I got from panelists was that they would like to have these conversations more often. Yeah. I know some artists have little discords here and there where they get to sometimes talk about these things. But it would be nice to have just maybe a mini con, maybe have a couple like a panel on what's the latest current events that ASMRs are dealing with.
Like the news.
Like the news. And
Jellybean Green, thank you so much for the 1,500 bits.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Jellybean. Thank you so much.
And more. Oh my God, guys.
Wow, SG, thank you.
SG with the 1,300 bits.
I feel embarrassed.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wild.
But yeah, Paul, the mini-con would be cool, man. We'd love to have you be a part of it, of course.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I think the most important thing is we want to expand this con to involve more and more ASMR artists. We have 43 this time. Last year, I think we had 20 something. So that means next year, maybe we'll get 80. But hopefully we keep expanding this umbrella, involving more people, more styles. At least 69. But I want to include more styles because there are people who love powders and crumbling sounds. Like there's all these various subgenres of ASMR, and I'd love to see some of these other categories kind of included.
Oh my God.
So I was looking at someone doing ice crushing ASMR.
Spooky, I'll let me untime you out because thank you for those bits though. I implemented a hang on, let me do this because I can't talk and type at the same time.
What did you do, Keith? You broke it.
We got so many bits that it broke.
Thank you, Maya, for removing that. So people were when I woke up in the middle of the night to check out the con, I saw that somebody posted an ASCII.
Thank you, Amy.
Somebody posted an ASCII penis in the chat, which is unfortunately way too common on Twitch. And the only way to remedy that is to automate timing out lengthy messages. So I apologize for that, but we had to do that to prevent ASCII inappropriate shit come on.
But they haven't been like deleted because he was asking if they're deleted. I don't think they have they?
The message was deleted, but I think the bits still went through. But
okay, cool. Thank you so much, Spooky. Thank you so much.
Spooky.
Yeah, listen, everyone,
and I apologize for that.
And everyone, thank you.
Everyone, thank you for those donations. They will go 100% back to TingleCon and growing it and making this an even more amazing event for the next year. So thank you so much. If anyone has any questions in chat, I think that pretty much does it for my questions.
Annalisa, thank you, Annalisa.
Annalisa, thank you.
Annalisa,
thank you so much. Why didn't Keith get timed out for the nude comments? You're gonna have to write to Jeff Bezos and ask what's going on. Maybe he'll have an answer.
In space.
He was only in space for like a few minutes, right?
No.
Yeah, sure, he is.
I won't get.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's may not be him. It could be a clone, as they say.
It could be a clone.
I jest. All right, cool.
Don't forget to tune in again because we have 3 more panels today.
Okay, yeah, Carol, do you want to tell us what we have stored for the rest of the day, and then we can close out?
Sure.
Cool.
We have Twitch versus YouTube at 4 p.m. Eastern. We have cinematic ASMR at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we have educational ASMR at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and that's the last one. And then we have live streams from Kata and Destiny, and the closing ceremony is 9:15 Eastern time. So that's like in England, that's like 2 a.m. for me. But I'll be here. I try not to die.
Cool.
Yeah, Carol, don't die.
No, I try to. It's gonna be so late. Oh my god.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
Rude.
If you do have questions, by the way, for those panels, they're already written up, but I do believe some of the members of those panels will be in the chat. So if you want to ask, are curious about anything, come by. Feel free to talk with them in chat if they are there. And maybe they'll be able to give you a little insight. So
Thank you so much, Jade.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you to everybody. That is so awesome. So just a couple. So again, it'll be only an hour. We'll be back for our next panel. Again, the Great Atlas, James Matthew, Shani, and Captain Bailey. So we all hope to see you there. And as Keith would say, stay chill.
That's right. Stay chill.
I stay chill.